You're so emotionally unsafe. The fact that you're hurt by what I did just proves how toxic you are. She said after cheating on me, so I kicked her out. Now he ghosted her, and she's desperately trying to come back. Hey viewers, before we move on to the video, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button if you want to see more stories like this. Thanks. When I first met Lena, I thought she was intense, but in a good way. She had this energy about her, fiery, opinionated, unpredictable. At the time, I mistook it for passion. I was drawn in because she seemed like someone who felt everything deeply, who didn't hide her emotions. Compared to my last relationship, which was cold and distant, Lena was like stepping into a heat wave. It felt alive, real. What I didn't realize is that she didn't just feel her own emotions deeply. She also trampled all over mine. In the beginning, it was subtle. I'd say something like, "Hey, it hurt my feelings when you said that in front of your friends," and she'd twist it into, "You're trying to police my personality." Anytime I brought up something that bothered me, she'd deflect and somehow make herself the victim. Wow, so now I can't even joke? You really can't handle strong women, huh? I started doubting myself. Was I being too sensitive? Too controlling? Maybe I was the problem. She loved using words like growth, healing, boundaries, but somehow those things always only applied to her. If she needed space, I was supposed to respect it. If I needed reassurance, I was emotionally needy. If I asked her not to post half-naked thirst traps on Instagram, I was controlling and insecure. Still, I tried to understand her. I believed that people had baggage, and that love meant patience. I figured she just needed time to feel safe. So I gave her that. I supported her through job changes, through her fights with friends, even helped her when she had to move apartments on short notice. I let a lot slide. I let her roll her eyes when I talked about my work. I let her mock me for wanting a quiet night in when she wanted to party. I let her flirt with other guys and dismiss it as harmless. I kept convincing myself it was just her personality, that it wasn't personal. But over time, it wore me down. The worst part wasn't the fights. It was how she made me feel about myself. Like I was somehow less than her. Like I should feel lucky to be with her. And if I ever complained, I was being ungrateful. I can't even count how many times she said some version of, "Most guys would kill to have me. You really think someone else is going to put up with your energy?" I started to withdraw, emotionally. I didn't want to be called toxic just for having feelings. I didn't want to be accused of being abusive for asking her to communicate like an adult. So I started walking on eggshells. The irony? She was the one constantly accusing me of being emotionally unsafe. Anytime I was visibly upset, even if I was calm and measured, she'd look at me like I was a threat, like my hurt was somehow aggression. Once, I found out she lied about where she was, and when I said, "I don't like being lied to," she stared at me and said, "You're scaring me right now." Scaring her, because I said I didn't like being lied to. And then came the distance. The sudden late-night drives to clear her head. The gym sessions that turned into 5-hour absences. The new male friend, who she swore was just a guy from yoga class. I wasn't stupid. I knew what was happening. But I didn't confront her, not yet. I wanted to be sure. I wanted to give her the benefit of the doubt one last time. Because as much as she chipped away at me, some part of me still loved the person I thought she was. That version of her had been gone for a while. I just hadn't accepted it yet. But I was about to. I finally got confirmation one Thursday night. She'd left her laptop open while she was in the shower, and a message popped up on the screen from that guy from yoga, Tyler. The preview alone was enough. Last night was insane. I can't stop thinking about you. That was it. The last crack in the dam. I didn't snoop further. I didn't need to. I just sat on the couch, staring at the floor, while she blow-dried her hair like nothing had happened. When she came out, I looked up at her and said, calmly, "So how long has it been going on with Tyler?" She paused. No panic. No guilt. She smirked. "You really need to get over your paranoia. Nothing happened." I didn't raise my voice. I just looked her in the eye and said, "I saw the message. You don't have to lie." She rolled her eyes, like I was boring her. "Oh my God, Aaron. Are we seriously doing this? You are so emotionally unsafe. The fact that you're hurt by what I did just proves how toxic you are." I couldn't believe it. Not an ounce of remorse. Not even a fake apology. She folded her arms and added, "You've always been this way. Controlling, fragile, judgmental. Maybe if you were more evolved emotionally, I wouldn't have needed to find that connection elsewhere. You mean cheat? I said flatly. She laughed under her breath. No, I mean actually feel seen. Something you never managed to do, no matter how hard you tried to fix me. That was it. All the patience I'd had, all the self-doubt I carried, evaporated in an instant. Not in a rage, in clarity. You know what? I said, standing up. You're not deep. You're not evolved. You're just a narcissist with good vocabulary. She scoffed. Excuse me. You cheat, then call me toxic for having a normal reaction. You blame me for your choices. You use therapy speak like it's a get-out-of-jail-free card. But you're not healing. You're hiding. Her arms dropped. She wasn't used to me talking like this. But I didn't stop. I've walked on eggshells for over a year. I've been patient. I've tried to understand you, to support you, even when you humiliated me in front of friends or flirted with strangers. And now, you cheat, and somehow that's my fault too. She crossed her arms again, defensive. You're twisting things. You always do this. No, Lena. This is the first time I'm seeing things clearly. And I'm done. Her face changed. She didn't expect that. Not from me. I think she expected a breakdown, maybe some desperate plea to stay, or a dramatic argument she could flip around on me. Instead, I just said, you can pack your stuff tonight. I want you out by morning. She blinked a few times, like her brain was buffering. You're seriously kicking me out? Over this. You made the choice. I'm just following through. She tried to laugh it off. You're making a huge mistake. You think you're going to find someone who gets you like I do? Good luck. You'll crawl back once you realize what you lost. I walked to the hallway closet, pulled out a spare suitcase, and set it beside the couch. Start packing, Lena. She looked at me like I'd just punched her. Then she shook her head and muttered, wow, you really are useless. Then it shouldn't be hard for you to leave. She stood there for a moment, trying to regain control of the moment. But there was nothing left for her to spin. No button left to push. She ended up packing in silence, grabbing her things in a flurry of angry motion. I didn't hover. I didn't say a word. I just watched her walk out around midnight with her overstuffed bags, muttering something about how she was going to be so much happier anyway. The door closed behind her. For the first time in over a year, the apartment felt quiet, peaceful. I didn't cry. I didn't text her. I didn't look through old photos. I just sat down on the couch, exhaled, and stared at the ceiling. I should have left months ago, but at least now I finally had. The next morning, I woke up without that familiar knot in my stomach. No icy silence from across the bed. No passive-aggressive remarks over coffee. No emotional landmines waiting to explode. Just silence. Pure, unfiltered quiet. I forgot what it felt like to start the day without tension. The first thing I did was strip the bed. I washed the sheets, threw away the tacky candles she always insisted on lighting during full moons, and opened the windows. It was symbolic, but it felt good. The air felt fresher. The apartment didn't smell like her overpriced skincare routine anymore. It just smelled like home. I blocked her number, then muted her on every social platform. Not to be petty, not to punish her. I just didn't want her voice in my head anymore, not even digitally. Over the next few days, I kept it simple. I worked. I hit the gym again, really hit it, not just the half-hearted workouts I used to squeeze in after dealing with her drama. I cooked for myself, reached out to a couple of old friends she hadn't liked. One of them, Jamie, laughed when I told him we'd broken up. Dude, took you long enough. She was a walking TikTok diagnosis. He wasn't wrong. By day 3, I felt lighter. Not healed, but clear. I was finally done second-guessing myself. I used to spend hours wondering how I could be better, how I could make things easier for her. Now I understood, it was never about me. She just needed someone to project her dysfunction onto. And I played that role way too well. Then, on the evening of the 4th day, I got a text from an unknown number. Hey, I just wanted to say I'm sorry about how everything happened. I hope you're okay. No name. No apology for what she did, just how it happened. But I knew who it was. I deleted it without replying. The next morning, I got a message on Instagram from a burner account. I know I hurt you, and I'm not asking for anything, but I really miss the way we used to talk. Right. She missed the part where I comforted her while she made me feel crazy. I ignored that too. By day 6, she got bolder. A long text came from a second number, probably her work phone. This time she actually named it. I messed up. I let someone get in my head, and I hurt the one person who actually cared about me. Tyler wasn't who I thought he was. He just ghosted me. I see now that I threw away something real. Can we please talk? I stared at the screen for a while. There it was. The turn. I didn't reply. That evening, she came by the apartment. I saw her through the peephole, standing there, fidgeting with her keys, even though she didn't live here anymore. I didn't open the door. After a minute, she knocked gently and said through the wood, "I'm not here to fight. I just want to talk, Aaron. Please." I stayed silent. A pause. Then her voice got softer. "You were always the only one who actually tried with me. I didn't see it before, but I do now. I'm sorry." Still, I said nothing. Eventually, I heard her sigh and walk away. Her footsteps echoed down the hallway. She didn't slam the door. She didn't yell. Just left in silence. I stood there for another full minute before walking back to the kitchen. And I smiled, just a little. Not because she was hurting. Not because I wanted revenge. But because I was finally free. She could spiral. She could beg. She could apologize 1,000 different ways. But I wasn't her emotional dumping ground anymore. Not her project. Not her punching bag. She walked out thinking she was upgrading. Now she was crawling back to a man who wasn't waiting anymore. Day 7 started with a knock at the door. I didn't open it. I didn't need to. I knew who it was. She didn't say anything at first, just stood out there for a full minute before sliding a handwritten note under the door. I know I broke something, but I still believe in us. I believe we could fix it, if you let me. I'm not asking for everything. Just coffee. Just a conversation. No, there was nothing to fix. There was no us. There was only her trying to crawl back to something she shattered herself. I tossed the note in the trash and went on with my morning. That afternoon, she tried a different angle. A long email, more self-aware, more humble, the kind of thing you might write after watching a few YouTube videos on accountability. I know I blamed you. I gaslit you. I cheated. I don't deserve forgiveness right now. But I still want to be honest. I'm scared. I thought Tyler was different. But the second I got vulnerable, he bailed. I see now that I had something rare with you. You made me feel safe, and I hated that because I didn't feel like I deserved it. But I want to now. Please, just talk to me. Still no acknowledgement that I told her the truth before everything fell apart. That I gave her chance after chance. That I was patient far beyond reason. I didn't reply. That night, I saw she had followed me again on Instagram from her main account. I blocked her. 2 hours later, a fake one followed me. No profile pic, no posts, but watching all my stories. I blocked that too. The next day was Sunday. I was sitting at a coffee shop with Jamie when my phone buzzed with a call from a number I didn't recognize. I declined it. 10 seconds later, another call, this time from her mom's number. I let it ring out. Then the texts started flooding in. "So now you're ghosting me? Real mature. You think ignoring me makes you the bigger person? You're a coward. You're not better than me, Aaron. You never were." And then, Tyler was a mistake, okay? He didn't care about me. He used me. He said all the right things and then vanished. Are you happy now? That one almost made me laugh. Not because I found it funny, but because the delusion was still there. The way she twisted every choice she made into something that just happened to her. Like she was always the victim of her own mess. Jamie saw me smirking at my phone and asked, "That her again?" Yep. She's still spinning reality? Like a washing machine on high. That evening, she tried the nostalgia route. "Remember our weekend in the cabin last winter? You made that awful burnt pasta, and we still laughed about it for days. I miss that. I miss you. Don't you miss me, even a little?" I didn't answer. The next day, she went quiet. No texts. No calls. Nothing. For a moment, I wondered if she'd finally given up. If she realized that she couldn't manipulate her way back into my life this time. But then, on day 10, she showed up again. This time at my gym. She was standing by the front desk, pretending to scroll through her phone when I walked in. She looked up, acted surprised, gave this little half smile like we were running into each other in a movie. "Aaron," she said, like it meant something. I nodded, kept walking, didn't stop. "Wait, can we talk?" I turned, slowly. "About what?" "Everything. Us. There is no us. Not anymore." She blinked hard, like she was trying not to cry. "You really don't care anymore?" "No," I said plainly. "I care about myself now." She looked stunned. "You don't even want to hear what I've been through." I shook my head. "You wanted me to be emotionally numb when I was hurt. Now you want me to feel something for your pain? Doesn't work both ways. You're seriously just gonna walk away? I nodded once. I already did. Then I turned and walked into the gym. She stood there watching, probably waiting for me to look back. I didn't. And for the first time in a long time, I felt like I'd finally reclaimed something I didn't even realize she'd taken from me. My peace. Day 11. It started quiet. No messages, no calls, no pop-ups at work. I actually thought it might be over. Maybe she'd found another rebound. Maybe she finally realized I wasn't playing this time. Then I got a DM from one of her friends, Madison. We never got along. Lena always claimed I was intimidated by strong women. But in reality, I just didn't like manipulators. Hey, not trying to get in the middle of anything, but Lena's a mess. She's not eating, not sleeping. She keeps saying she lost the only person who ever really saw her. I'm not saying you owe her anything, but if you could just talk to her, maybe it would help her move on. I didn't reply, but I'll admit, it stuck with me for a second. Until 20 minutes later, I saw Lena had posted a picture to her story. Some vague quote in white text on a black background. Some people will never understand how badly they broke you, and how hard it was not to break them in return. I actually laughed. Loud. In the middle of my apartment, the same woman who told me I was emotionally unsafe for being hurt by her cheating was now trying to play the victim, painting herself as the broken one, threatening, vaguely, that she could have broken me, as if she hadn't already tried a dozen different ways. Then came the phone calls again. Different number. Then her sister's number. Then her ex's number, Tyler. That one made me pause. I let it ring out. 2 minutes later, a text. It's Lena. I just need to say something without you blocking me again. Please. Just one message. I didn't answer. She sent another anyway. I was stupid. I was selfish. I thought Tyler made me feel alive. But it wasn't real. You were. You were the only one who ever made me feel safe. I messed it up, and I know you don't owe me a second chance, but I'm begging you, Aaron. Please don't shut me out completely. Please. 5 minutes later, another message. Or maybe you never actually loved me at all. Maybe that's the truth. You love control, not me. That's why you're fine now. Cold people don't feel loss. And there it was, the cycle. From regret to guilt tripping. From, I love you, to you're a monster. I'd seen it all before, during every fight, every emotional meltdown she used to stage when I set the smallest boundary. It was the same act, just louder now. Because I wasn't in the front row anymore. Day 12, she came by the apartment again. This time she wasn't calm. She banged on the door. I didn't answer. She shouted, I know you're in there. Don't act like I meant nothing. Don't act like you didn't say you loved me a month ago. I stayed silent. I gave you everything, she screamed. I trusted you with all my trauma. I let you in. I wanted to yell back. You let me in so you could bleed on me and blame me for the mess. But I didn't say anything. I just waited until she left. She tried texting one more time that night. I don't even know who you are anymore. And then, I hope you end up alone. You'll never find someone who puts up with you like I did. Funny how she called that a virtue. The next morning, day 13, I got one last message. It was short. No blame, no theatrics. I won't bother you anymore. I'm sorry. And for the first time since she cheated, I actually believed her. Not because she meant it, but because she'd finally run out of ways to twist the story. Every manipulation tactic, every mask, every emotional trick, none of it worked. She played every card in the deck and still lost. And I slept like a baby. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button. What do you think about this story? Share it in the comments.